What's going on, guys? I wanted to talk about the permission to heal and what it takes to heal and overcome, right? And to move on and be happy and do things with your life and be positive with things, right? A lot of people who endure any kind of trauma or hardship or have a tough life, a heartbreaking or a sad life, they get stuck in this place of like, woe is me, and my life sucks, and my life has been tragic, and my life is heartbreaking, and like there's all of these bad things, right? There's all of these things that were this weight that we carry with it, okay? And for those of you who don't know my story, I've kind of been through it all as far as trauma and childhood trauma goes specifically, grew up with a single mother, on drugs and welfare, violence, drugs, and abuse was in my house every day. And I also dealt with my fair share of sexual abuse, for nearly 6 years from another man outside of the home. So I had went through a lot as a young man for 16 years, and just an absolute hell of a childhood. And so for me to come out on the other end and be the man that I am today, it is truly remarkable. And one of the questions I get all the time is like, Seth, how did you get over this? How did you heal from this? How did you come, get out of this place, right? How did you overcome all of this trauma and be who you are? And I've never had any therapy. I've never had any kind of treatment, no medication, no diagnosis, nothing like that. And so, often one of the questions I get is, well, what would you tell a survivor? What would you tell a victim? What would you tell somebody who has been through the same amount of trauma or less or worse than you have? And my answer to that question is, the other side of life, like happiness and hope and healing and overcoming, is a decision that you have to make. If you want that lifestyle, if you want happiness, if you want love and to be loved, if you want a family, that's a decision that you have to make. Now, the process of healing and following through with that decision is the hard part. Anybody can make the decision to be mad, to be upset, to be angry, and to live in that, and that's so easy. It's so easy to give up and give into everything that's happened to you, right? It's so easy to live this life of like mediocrity or pain and suffering and depression and anger and anxiety. It's so easy to live this miserable life, this place where you're stuck in just misery and you don't want anybody around you to be happy and you don't even want to feel happiness, right? That's very easy to do. So it's your decision to live the opposite of that. And what comes with that is the process of healing. It's the process of learning how to overcome. It's the process of being emotionally intelligent and mature, right? There's a process to all of those things. What does it take to execute? What does it take to trust the process and make sure the process is successful? Well, that's consistency and discipline, right? You have to be consistent in who you are and what you are, okay? Like you have to wake up every day and speak life into yourself. The words that you say, they matter. Everything that you tell yourself, it matters. Everything. You say you're good or bad, it matters. Right? If you want to be happy, you have to do what people that are happy do, right? They are walking around the world smiling and happy and positive, and there's connection. They're exercising, they're challenging themselves. That's what people who are happy do. They put themselves into positions that are good for them, right? And that takes consistency and discipline. You have to consistently do these things, practice these things that make you a happy person. And then you have to be disciplined enough to either stay on that track or get back on it if you fall off. Okay? And then when you are so disciplined that you're able to execute these things consistently, you will see the results, right? The results comes with the consistency. The execution piece, like you just have to be disciplined enough to do these things. And a lot of us can talk about how heartbreaking and how tragic our lives are. And some of us certainly have some weight that we carry with that, right? Some of us have lived through some absolute horrific moments in our lives. Some of us have been through so much shit in our lives. I mean, it's incredible. It's incomprehensible. It's unfathomable. There are not words that can explain the emotions and the pain that is felt with some of the trauma that people can endure. It is truly remarkable. But the more tragic part of that is wasting it all, right? We go through all this pain and suffering in life. How tragic, like what a tragedy it would be to go through all of that and to survive and then come out on the other end, this resentful, hateful person. Like what a tragedy that would be. But how beautiful would it be if we came out on the other end a loving, compassionate, empathetic, successful, happy person with a family, with kids, with a wife or a husband, with grandmother, grandfather, right? Well, how beautiful would that be to come out on the other end and have those things? And all of those things are just a decision point away from having. We make a decision every single day to wake up, right? And to get out of our beds and to do the things that we have to do in order just to live. We make a decision to eat, to drink, shower, whatever, right? The same ability that it takes to make those decisions is the same ability that it takes to make the decision to be happy and to be positive and to be unrelenting and to be mindful of the things that you are doing, the things that you are telling yourself. It's the same ability. In fact, it's just harder. It's just harder to execute those things. So my advice to those who have gone through their own pain and suffering in life, their own heartache, their own tragedy, their own trauma, my advice to those people is to make the decision to be better and then execute and make that decision every single day. Every single day. Be better some way. Find a way to do it. Read a book, go to the gym, journal, whether it's talking, it's writing, it's reading. Find some level of therapy and healing, connecting, listening. Find something in your life that you can become better at every single day. And you will eventually get there, right? It is not going to be this overnight thing. And there are going to be rainy days. There are going to be bad days. There are going to be days where you go back to this anger and you go back to this temptation to quit, right? But we are resilient beings, okay? Resilience is resisting temptation. Resilience is resisting the temptation to quit, right? Resilience is this ability, it is this trait, it is this skill that we develop the more that we resist the temptation to quit, right? You have to be patient with this process. Patience comes from resistance to quit, right? There are so many things that we do every single day where it's like, I just want to quit. I just want to give up, right? I want to go to the gym. The gym is exhausting. I'm on my third set of an exercise and my muscles are exhausted. My muscles hurt. They are in pain, right? The resistance to quit right there is what builds that resiliency, okay? The resistance to quit eating like shit is, and the resistance to eating the bad foods, to skipping the gym, right? To the ability to follow through with those things is resiliency, right? That's how you build these things. You cannot become better. You cannot become more resilient. You cannot become patient unless you test yourself, unless you put yourself through something that is going to reap some sort of reward. That is how you gain those things. We don't just become resilient because we suffered or because we went through something hard. We don't just become patient over time. Patience requires some sort of test. Patience requires something coming into your life that is pushing you in the direction of quitting or giving up or taking an easy route. That's what patience is. That's what patience comes from. So, in order to move on in life, to be better in life, like you've got to be able to understand those things. It is a decision. It's simply a decision, and it's a process that you have to follow. It's not easy, right? But it is simple. Not easy, but it is simple. Anybody can do this. And that's what's so like intimidating about it maybe, is the fact that anybody can do it. And so we sit in this area of like, if I start making progress, I have proven to myself and to others that it is possible. And if I make progress, that means it can be accomplished. And with accomplishment comes this external or maybe internal pressure that we put on ourselves of success. Because I have accomplished or because I have started doing better, when do I reach my success, right? What is success? What is achievement? What is accomplishment? Whatever it is, whatever it is I'm trying to get over or heal from, what is the achievement or success, okay? And that can be intimidating or daunting for people. Like, at what point am I healed? If I start the healing process, and I've been doing it for a year now, am I healed? Like, what metric do I have to go by that says that I am done, that I have accomplished, that I am successful, right? I don't know if there is a metric because it's a lifestyle. There are no metrics that can measure impact, success, achievement for these kind of things, for like recovery, right? There's no metric that can measure healing from trauma. There's no metric that measures how happy I am, right? There's no metric that measures these things. There's no metric for my marriage, for my children, for the impact and the love and the caring that I have for them. There's no metric for that. There's no way to measure that. The only way you can look at that and say, is it successful? Did he achieve the outcome? Is by the lifestyle that they live. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle change. So when you're on this road trying to succeed and achieve and accomplish things, you have to understand that. Don't look at this success like it's some sort of attainable piece out there, like it's some sort of medal that you will eventually get. It's not. It is this lifestyle that you live. It is the values that you possess. It is the principles in which you live by. That is achievement. That is accomplishment. That is success, especially when you come from trauma, tragedy, and all those things, right? A lot of pain and suffering, right? When you come from the shit and then you begin to live a life of happiness and discipline and consistency, when your lifestyle changes, that is success. So when you are on this road and you're trying to figure your way out through life and you're trying to determine like what I'm doing doesn't matter. Like, think about that. Like, the lifestyle that you live is your, the process that you follow, the principles that you live by, the lifestyle that you live. Those are the things that are going to like determine success for you, right? It is not this one singular like achievement piece where you get the medal. It is this what you do every single day, right? That's what you should be going after. I think so many people are stuck in this place of like, once I'm no longer emotional, or once I'm no longer hurt, or once I'm, this thing is going to mean that I'm healed and that I've recovered, and all of these other like nonsensical freaking metrics that people are looking for, and they're unachievable, right? They're unachievable. People are going after things that are truly unachievable. So you've got to accept the fact that it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and disciplined in everything that you do. So that, that's a long-winded answer to what it takes to heal. It is a decision. It's a decision. It's a decision that you make every day. It's 2 pills you wake up and swallow every day. Consistency and discipline. Am I going to be this person or am I not? You have to be unrelenting with these things, right? The more shit that you've been through in your life, the harder it is going to be. Like, that's just a fact. The more that you have gone through in life, the harder it is going to be to overcome this mentality, this lifestyle, this mindset that you have. The more shit that you've been through, the harder it is to be to live on the other side of that, to live on the other side of pain and suffering. Like, that is just it. So you have to be willing to look yourself in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I am going to do this thing. I don't know how it is going to happen, but I'm going to accomplish this. I am going to live the life that I deserve. Because although I have been through hell and back, and I've been through it all, it would be an absolute tragedy if I did not live the rest of my life from this point forward in the best way possible. I have been robbed of my childhood, my innocence. I've been robbed of all of my happiness. I've been robbed of everything that you should experience as a human. Therefore, from this point forward, I will make the decision to live the best possible human experience that I can achieve with everything that is in my control, right? Everything that I can control, I will control to the best of my ability. I will fail. I will mess up. I will make mistakes, and that is okay. Because I will get back on the track. I am disciplined enough to get back on the track and to follow through. And I am consistent enough until I will see the results. I will do what it takes with discipline and consistency to live the life that I deserve. And I only get what I deserve when I go after it, right? Nothing is going to come my way unless I go and get it. Opportunities are not going to come to me. I will have to go to them. I will have to present myself. I will have to give my life purpose. I will have to show people how valuable I am. Nobody makes that decision but me. And for those who don't see it, so be it. Move on, leave those people behind. They are not the ones that you need in your life. The ones that you need in your life, they will see the value. If you don't have that in your life, then you need to look out there and go find them. But if you are stuck in a pit of victimhood and despair and depression and anger and resentment, it is your decision to start climbing that ladder and getting the fuck out of there. When you are in that basement and it's burning down and that ladder comes down and every single time you grab the rung, it burns like absolute hell, it is your decision. Do you sit in the basement for the rest of your life and die this burning hell, or do you suffer as you climb your way out and reach success and achievement and accomplishment, right? Can you suffer just a little bit just to get out of hell? Can you get through that just a little bit just to get out of hell? Can you feel a little bit of pain just to get out of hell? Or would you rather sit in the basement and burn to death? It's your decision.